Okay, so good evening to all of you in Vancouver from India. And I would like to thank Claudia's sister, who's the instrument for Vancouver Center, to give me this opportunity to share something with you all on 7 colors healing meditation. And thank you, Anu sister, for your kind introduction. So without much ado, let's move on to the topic. As you can see, the first slide is about 7 colors healing meditation. So why do we call 7 colors? Because basically they are those primary colors of the nature, primary colors of the rainbow. If you look at the first slide, you can see this complex picture whereby the human body and the human organ systems are shown. Let us just look at each of these. But the first important thing is, if you can see the pointer which I'm marking here, that is the soul, that is the energy which is driving the body. I know many people in the West are not comfortable with the word soul, but that is the basic existence of our, it is the energy which is driving the body. We basically are those energies, the human beings, which are basically driving, it's the soul which is driving the entire body. Let's look at each of these organ systems. So as you can see in the figure, the first most important system of the body is the central nervous system, the brain. It can be compared to a library or even to a computer because it really stores a lot of information in the form of what we call memory. You know, every computer has RAM, random access memory. And you know, everything, every thought, feeling, emotion, whatever we have is stored in our brain in the form of the memory circuits. So it's like a library or a computer. These eyes, these are the physical eyes, but basically if you compare the physical eyes of a dead body and of a living person, both the physical eyes are the same, but the physical eyes are not working in a dead body, but they are working in a living body. Why? It's because of the soul. So the soul, which is the third eye, which is looking at the outside external world through these physical eyes. So therefore the eyes can be compared to a camera, like a movie camera. Same thing is the hearing apparatus, which can be compared to a receiver, phone receiver. And as I'm speaking, there's the noise or the voice which is produced from the sound box, which is the larynx. So that is compared to a bell. Similarly, it can be also compared to a horn instrument. And the nose, we can smell the pleasant scents all around, is because of the olfactory nerve. This is a very common symptom nowadays, anosmia. People lose their sense of smell in COVID, and that's the very common presenting feature of COVID. So you see that smell also apparatus is so important for all of us because smell and taste are interlinked with each other. Coming down to the other major organ systems, as you can see, the heart, it is like a pump which is driving the oxygenated blood into the body. And heart and lungs, you all know, is a very close connected system. The lungs basically just take in the oxygen and remove the carbon dioxide. Then coming to the intestine, it starts with the stomach. Stomach is just like a mixer grinder whereby whatever you put, you on the machine and it in a second it just grinds and mixes everything, which then goes into your small intestine first. This is the one which is shown here. And small intestine is a very, you know, it's said that the surface area of the small intestine, if you cut open, is almost as big as a football ground. So the surface area of the small intestine is really a lot. It is because whatever you eat, the nutrients should be absorbed. And the three primary nutrients, all of you all know, is the macros, what we call proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. So this is likened to a tree whereby the roots are, just hold on. Yeah. So as you can see, the roots of the tree, they provide nourishment to the tree. In a similar manner, whatever you absorb is providing nourishment to the body, to the small intestine. So people who have small intestine problems, say cancers or say infections, ulcerative colitis, all these inflammatory bowel diseases, they have to get their intestines cut for some reason. They have really got malnutrition or malnourishment because the small intestine is not able to absorb them. Coming to the colon, which is the large intestine, which is basically a transit organ which just stores the stool, and it is just to get rid of the things which are not absorbed. So that is like a waste box. You can compare it to a waste box. And kidneys, as you can see, of which I am a doctor. I specialize in kidney problems in children. So whatever you eat or drink, it goes into the blood, and the blood is full of impurities, all the waste products, and the kidneys work to remove all this. So it is compared to a filter, a tea filter. So as you can see, this entire apparatus of the human body, all the organs, they can only run when there is energy. Like we know, all these machines will fail when there is no electrical current, right? A pump will start failing, which is drawing water up. A mixer will not work. Same thing, the machine, the apparatus, the computer will not work unless you have electricity in that. So similarly, as electrical energy is needed to drive all these machines, in a similar manner, the spiritual energy, what we call, is needed to drive the physical organs in the body. And it can therefore be likened to a car. If you have a brand new car which you have got, but if you don't have a driver, that car is of no use. So similarly, this entire body is like a car, and I, the soul, am the driver of the body. So with this introduction of the various body systems and what we also call the soul, which is the prime body operator, we now move on to the important slide of today. This slide depicts the seven chakras of what we call the ethereal body. All of you are aware of the physical body which can be seen, but there is something called energy body or ethereal body, which is basically your aura. So when we go in front of various gurus and sannyasis or saints, we like their company. It is because their aura is very pure, and this aura is generated from the energy which they radiate. So this is the importance of the energy body. And nowadays there are various methods to detect what aura you have. Do you have a pure aura or not? So there's something called Kirlian photography, which can determine what aura you are exuding out. It is, you can find out yourself that way through that machine. So as I told you about the ethereal body, so though the soul is the prime operator, as I said, of the body, but the soul, it influences all these different organ systems to these chakras. And chakra means nothing but uh, energy which moves in a cyclical fashion. Therefore, it's called a chakra. And when we say in English, we call them plexus. The plexus is a plexus of nerves, which I'll be showing you in the next slide later. So the energy in each of these seven chakras, which I'll be telling you shortly now, it radiates in a circular fashion. And if energy stops circulating, if there is a block, then there's production of disease in that. So it is called dis-ease, which is a very beautiful word, which means absence of ease. So if it is circulating easily without any interference, then you remain healthy. You are at ease, that means. But if it is not, then it is dis-ease. And these are basically, we call them spiritual energy, but they are also electromagnetic radiations, because they are basically, your body has an electrical field and also a magnetic field. So both these are electromagnetic radiations. And particularly these first two chakras, they are in the face, because the face is the prime organ of the body, or the main thing in the body whereby it expresses everything. And we use all these mobile phones nowadays, which are full of electromagnetic radiation. So not only in the form of a physical mobile like that, someone even using constantly a Bluetooth in the ears, it is constantly producing electromagnetic radiation. Sometimes some people say, can you just prove us and tell us that the mobile has electromagnetic radiation? How can you prove that? So it's a very simple way. There are many songs in the mobile, and if I want to transfer one song from my mobile to someone else's mobile, I can just switch on the Bluetooth, and the Bluetooth does the work. So how is this happening? How is that song getting transferred from my phone to the other phone? It's not a physical thing, it's an energy thing, and it is a radiation. So these two chakras commonly get blocked because of the use of lot of mobile phones, which is a very routine in nowadays fast forward life. So let's start with the first chakra here. Actually, it's the second in sequence, but I like to start here. It is called the brow chakra or the Agya chakra. In Hindi, we call it Ajna chakra or Agya chakra. Agya means, in English, it means to obey the command. And since the soul resides here, this is the residential place of the soul. And why here? Because medically proven that if you draw a line, I'll just show you, if you draw a line from here deep down horizontally, and another line which you draw vertically from top, from the crown of the head and coming down. At the intersection here is the place where the soul resides. So this is that Agya chakra, and each of these chakra will be trying to link them with the 7 different colors of the rainbow, which are the natural colors, and also with the 7 different virtues of the soul. So with this, we'll be also covering today the 7 basic virtues. The 7 colors of the rainbow are in front of you: the violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. We memorize them, you remember from school times, as Vibgyor. So similarly, all of us as a soul, as an energy, all of us have these 7 basic virtues. And these virtues are written just to tell you, to start from top to bottom. It is bliss, it's knowledge, it's peace, love, joy or happiness. Then we say purity, and lastly, spiritual power. So these are the 7 basic virtues or values of the soul, and then other virtues are dependent on that. So the virtue which is linked with Agya Chakra is basically knowledge. So knowledge doesn't really mean, when we say word knowledge or wisdom, people really don't relate to that. But if you look at it, knowledge is basically this simple knowledge also we don't have in today's world. That who am I? That is the basic knowledge which is lacking. Everyone needs to know that. Who am I? I am the energy. And I have told you, I have given you enough of proof now to let you know that you are the energy driving the body, not the body. So I am the energy which is driving the body. So this basic knowledge is important. And the color of this is dark blue, which is also called indigo color, dark blue color. And how can you correlate this? If you go to your school days, maybe 20, 30 years ago, we used to use the ink pen for writing, and the natural color of the ink pen is dark blue. Because when you look at the dark blue color through the eyes, whatever energy goes inside through that, the color, which dark blue color, it vibrates with that particular frequency, which stimulates your brow plexus inside. It stimulates the energy there, and then you become a knowledgeable energy, that yes, I am this energy driving the body. That basic knowledge, once you get what we call soul consciousness, it really is the basic, I would say, medicine for all physical diseases, for all psychosomatic diseases. And this is knowledge. We say a knowledgeable person is very intelligent. That's what we usually say. So knowledge is also related to the what we call intellect. There are 2 things in the soul energy. One is the mind and other is the intellect. So mind is your thinking faculty, the thought process which you are doing, and the intellect is your decision making capacity. So we say that a person who is intelligent can do a good decision. So this chakra, Agya chakra, is related to that. And the diseases which are linked here is the basic diseases of all the nervous system. So it's the nervous system comprises not only of your brain, the entire nerves which are going through the body, but also the eyes. So diseases of the eyes, the entire optic apparatus inside, and the brain, the proper brain, which we call the cerebral cortex, and the small brain, which is there behind. All these diseases, neurodegenerative diseases or nervous system diseases related to this. And moving on to the first chakra in the sequence, the color is violet. Violet actually signifies bliss. And when I say bliss, bliss is basically, to define, it is a form of what you call suprasensory pleasure. It is that pleasure which is suprasensory in nature, by which I mean none of the sense organs can give you pleasure. If you look at something good, if you smell something good, if you taste something good, you feel very good. That is not bliss. But this is bliss because this is beyond the sensory perception. And this you can only experience in meditation. And today we'll be doing that in the end. And by the time you finish that, doing 5 or 10 minutes, you'll experience that inner bliss, which is there. So bliss is one of the prime qualities of the soul. And it is right at the top because it is called the crown chakra. In Hindi, it is called Sahasrar. Sahasrar basically implies, Sahasra means multifolds. It's more than 100,000 millions. Because it is thought that in Hindu tradition, they feel that there is a lotus flower over there on the top of the head, which basically you don't have a lotus flower on the top, but lotus flower signifies a lot of purity and it signifies a state of mind which is very detached from the physical world. So once you start practicing soul consciousness, you start getting more and more detached from the physical world and you start experiencing bliss. So it is the bliss related to this chakra. And it is related to the, as I mentioned, intellect for the third eye or the Agya chakra. This is related to the mind, which is basically your emotional self, and the intellect was your rational self. So when I say mind, what is mind? Mind is nothing but the thinking faculty of the soul, because constantly, every day, every second, I'm creating new and new thoughts. But what is the quality of those thoughts? So if I'm thinking constantly negative, if I'm stressed, it affects my endocrine system. And this chakra is related to your endocrine system, which is the hormonal system in the body for your use. So it's not a big deal. So just pay attention to the, that's the reason I'm spending more time with you on this theoretical aspect, because I want you all to understand first. Once you understand the theory behind it, then practical will become very easy for you all. So throat plexus, again, the color is light blue, similar to the sky blue color. So it's amazing that all these are natural colors. So when you look at the sky, what sort of value do you feel? It's the peace, the serenity of the sky around. And basically, we call this as the space element, or we also call it ether element. Ether. So the entire, when you look at the sky is blue not because it really has a blue color, it's because of the ozone gases. And it's something, it's a phenomenon, it's really not a blue color actually. So it's because of the ozone layer, it casts a light blue color. So it's basically the entire space element. So we are linked to the space element through what is called the space. The physical body is connected to the space outside by something called ENT, the ear, nose, and the throat. And you know ENT doctors, they deal with problems of ENT. So remember, whenever there is peacelessness, if I am not at peace with myself, I really get a lot of coughs and colds. And therefore, it is seen that as children are thought to be very, very up and about. They can't sit in one place compared to adults. Therefore, upper respiratory tract infections are more common in children. And mind well, a virus which is there in the atmosphere, again, speaking of COVID now, the COVID will attack more to such people who are constantly peaceless, who are not able to just calm down themselves and not able to really manifest peacefulness. So if you're peaceful, the virus, because if you're peace, your immune system in the body also is in a harmonious manner. Mind well, there is something called, it just suddenly flashed in the brain. There is a subject called psycho-neuro-endocrino-immunology. I'll just repeat, it's a big word, psycho, neuro, endocrino, immunology. So all these four systems, rather four logies, four studies are connected to each other. Your psyche, which is basically your thought process, your thinking pattern, is connected to your nervous system, as I told you, through the energy connection, the soul sitting there close to the gland, the endocrine system, and that is connected to your entire nervous system. So psycho, neuro, endocrino, I told you already about the hormones. And these all three are connected lastly to your immunology, which is basically your immune system. And I'm sure if not uh, any time before now, because since the last 6 7 months, because of the coronavirus pandemic, everyone is aware of what is the immune system of the body much better now than before. So, our immune system is directly affected from our thoughts, from the nervous system, and from the hormonal system. So, if you are at peace, obviously your immune system is very, very elevated. Let's move on to the next chakra, which is the heart chakra. You can see the location is in the area of the heart. The color is the natural green color. The green color which we look at nature outside, the color of the foliage, the greenery. And this color relates to another quality, which is love. And you can correlate very easily. Everyone expresses love through the heart. And how is it linked to which element? It's called the air element. Easy to understand that the heart and the lungs both are closely interrelated. The first function of uh, the first important organ is lungs actually, because lungs take the air, oxygen from outside, and the carbon dioxide is thrown out, and this oxygen is then in the blood. We call it oxygenated blood. It is then taken from the heart and sent out to the other parts of the body. So the heart and the lungs are a very close system, interlinked system. So therefore it's easy to, therefore I'm trying to tell you different things the way you would try to connect with them. So the air element is present in the lungs, and then from the lungs the oxygen goes into the blood through the heart. The heart is a pumping organ. So this is related to which organ system? It's the cardiovascular system, what we call the pulmonary, which is the lungs, and the cardiovascular system. And you know, nowadays all the diseases which are uh, on the rise, it's the cardiovascular. So hypertension, that is high blood pressure, even chronic asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, what we call COPD. So all the problems related to the heart and lungs. And therefore, a person who gets heart attack, the doctor, the cardiologist usually advises you that please make sure you behave with this patient very lovefully. Make sure you don't upset him, because the moment you don't love him, the energy of love doesn't vibrate. What happens? The entire blood vessels in the body start constricting. That's called vasoconstriction. And the moment you vasoconstrict, the blood pressure goes high, and it, adversely affects your heart. So this is about the heart. The color is green, linked to your cardiovascular. Next is, as you can see, the Manipur chakra, which is what we call the chakra close to your umbilicus. It is also called the solar plexus. The color is beautifully golden yellow. It's not yellow, it's golden yellow. And which element of nature has golden yellow? It's the fire element. And very important is to remember that it is related to your gastrointestinal system, the liver, the pancreas, and the entire intestine for digestion. So, how can you explain fire with digestion? So, when you are in a big hurry and you're stuck in your room, for example, someone closes the doors of your room and says that sit and complete your food in 5 minutes without the AC, air conditioning, or the fan being on, and you are asked to eat very fast in 5 minutes. So if you start eating fast, you see you start producing a lot of sweat. Why? Because when you start eating, there is no such physical fire, but this fire which is there is basically an internal, what we call the internal digestive enzymes, all the digestive juices. They basically secrete a lot of heat energy in the body, and therefore you start sweating. So the soul value which is linked to it, it is called joy or happiness. And so therefore it is seen that people who are happy have a good digestive system. But the people who aren't happy, who are constantly worrying and sad, the number one disease affecting everyone because of that stress is, diabetes. Because diabetes is directly linked to your digestive system. The pancreas, when you create so much of stress, the pancreas just, constricts, and the insulin release and all that is affected. So all these GI disturbances are due to uh, disturbances in this chakra. We move on to the next one, which is the sacral plexus, which is situated around 2 to 3 centimeters below your navel, what we call in the subumbilical or suprapubic. There is a bone called pubis above your, just behind the genitals, and just slightly above that is this plexus. This area is linked with the excretory system, the kidney. And which element is there in the kidney? It's basically urine, so it's the water element. So there are four organ systems related to the water element. One is your kidney, so it's a urine. Then is your blood, because basically blood is also a liquid thing. So blood filters and forms urine, so it's blood. The third is sweat. All over the skin there is sweat, so sweat also is water element. And lastly, it's your reproductive system, which is your sexual organs, ovaries and testes, in whatever gender you are. So all that, also all those secretions are basically liquid. So the liquid element is related to this. Uh, Let me tell you, the important value associated with this is purity. Purity. So if someone is Practicing celibacy, purity, the reproductive organs become more and more pure. Same way your kidney starts becoming more and more pure, by which I mean the excretory function, the filtration functions becomes better. And what is the color of purity? I'm sure all of you can relate to that. If you look at the sadhus and sannyasis in ancient India, they wear the robe which is saffron colored. So I would rather, instead of saying orange, I would rather say saffron color. So saffron color is related to purity and the diseases of the genitourinary tract. So all your reproductive diseases, all the sexually transmitted diseases, the kidney diseases, the skin diseases, and the diseases related to blood. So all your blood cancers and blood related diseases is related to this. And coming to the last chakra, which is, if you can visualize, you're sitting on your you're sitting on the chair, and if you look at it, the bum that is right at the tip of the spine, which is touching the seat, there you can visualize that is the root chakra. Why is it called root? Because that is the root of your body. In Sanskrit, it is two beautiful words, Mool Adhar Chakra or Kundalini Chakra. Mool Adhar, I'll just, for people who understand Hindi here, Mool means basic and Adhar means foundation. So this is the basic foundation chakra of your body. And let me tell you, it is related to your musculoskeletal system of the body. Musculoskeletal basically is three things: your muscles, the bones, and the joints. So visualize that if you are not having a physical body comprised of these things, you will just not have any support. So this is your support system of the body. You're able to move, you're able to perform actions, you're able to do whatever physically. It's because of the bones, joints, and the muscles. So all these three provide what is called physical power. So the value linked or the virtue linked with this is the power. And when we say physical power is closely linked to spiritual power, and the color of power is naturally red. And that's the reason when you go to any Brahma Kumari center, either abroad or in India, while doing meditation, there's always red light, what we call red light, because it signifies power. It signifies that element which is basically connected to the earth. So as I was telling you, there are those five elements. The last element is earth. All of us are basically connected to the earth element through these, because there's a very beautiful tradition in Hinduism is after the death, after I leave the body, this body will be cremated maybe in Muslim culture and even in the Christian culture, but it is burnt in the Hindu culture. So whatever it is, it's basically all these, the flesh, the body, the bones, everything is just going back to the earth where it has come from. And therefore we say that all of, in Hindi we say, we have come from the earth and we go back to the earth. By which I mean that the physical body is made up of all this earth element which will go back to the earth element. So it's, I think, time now to go into the experiential mode. So let me just, before I go into that, I'll just show you that the body is comprised of the nervous system. And as I mentioned that all these chakras, there is energy. The energy is circulating basically in these nerve circuits. As you can see, it's a complex wiring of the body. If you, nowadays at homes, we have the concealed fitting. Our flats, our houses have electrical connections which are all concealed behind in the wall. You can't see them. So same thing is our body, whatever physical body we have, it's a big nerve plexus all around, and these beautiful nerves, each of them going to a particular organ in the body. And these nerves are subtly associated with the chakra. So here we have the crown chakra, the brow chakra, the throat chakra, so on and so forth. And so whatever energy radiates from that chakra, the energy radiates through all these small, small nerve fibers and goes to the point where it should be going, to the particular organ where it should be going. This is just to depict very simply what we have spoken, the colors, the names of the chakra. And I think this I'll be covering later because we have to do the practical experience today. So in the next 10 minutes or so, I'll be covering this. And what I would want you all to stress is that these two particularly. So, a few suggestions before we go on to the meditative mode. Uh, you should be trying to visualize when I tell you the color. So this is the violet color. You can visualize that it is coming from the Supreme Being, the Supreme Energy. Visualize it that it is on the top of your head. And from it, energy, beautiful violet colors, energy was of bliss. So energy of bliss, blissful energy, blissful rays entering the body through the crown chakra and then spreading through the entire body. So it just becomes easy to visualize. And today we'll be concentrating only on two chakras. First one is the crown chakra and second is the Agya chakra. This is the dark blue. As I told you, rays of knowledge coming through the brow chakra and spreading into the entire body. And there is something called sound. You know, there is the very universal sound is called Om. We call it the Om Dhwani or the Om sound, which we do during before starting meditation. So essentially, the commentary which I'll be giving will be later after the question answer session. But before that, I'll be doing this Om sound, which will help you in opening these two chakras. So when we break the sound Om, Om is basically O and Ma. So for the Agya chakra, the brow chakra or the third eye chakra, we'll be using the word O, and for this we'll be using the sound Ma. So Om, O and Ma. And as I will be doing with you all, you will be able to experience that as well. So let me just see if I can, yeah, so now that you have understood the color, uh, I think we'll just put on to this slide itself, yeah. And I'll play some music for y'all in the background to just make the atmosphere more pleasing. So I would request all of you all to now put down your bag baggage on your sides, your books and pens aside. For a while, sit straight. Your spine should be straight. Take a few deep breaths in and out. And say to yourself, because as you start breathing in deeply and out, your body starts getting relaxed. So relax your body. Relax. Take a deep breath in and out and relax. And as your body relaxes, so does your mind as well. So let your mind and body be totally relaxed. And as you do so, say to yourself that I am this beautiful energy located in the center of the forehead. And today, I am ready to experience this beautiful healing magic from the Supreme Being. So we start with, before we start, just a recap. So first we open this chakra. We visualize dark blue color. You can keep your eyes open or closed, whatever you're comfortable. And the voice which we do is the first part of O. That's the O sound. So let's start. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, say O. As you breathe out along with the O sound, you Visualize dark blue indigo color rays of knowledge entering through your brow plexus and spreading through the entire body. Let's keep doing this. Keep doing it for some more time. So say to yourself that I am an enlightened soul. Now the third eye, the eye of the soul consciousness, is open and I feel so very relaxed. I am this beautiful energy in the center of the forehead, fully awakened and situated in this true nature of soul consciousness. Now after this, we move on to the second, that's the crown chakra on the top. The only difference is the color, which is violet color rays of bliss. The value of bliss, you have to absorb that bliss from the supreme power. And the sound which we do is the second half of Om, that is the ma. Ma. And it's not a ma from the lips, it's a ma from inside, whereby you have to touch your tongue onto your palate. So you curl your tongue onto the palate inside, and the sound is produced from inside. I'll just give you an example. It's from inside. Okay? So the color is violet, the sound is ma. And visualize blissful rays of energy, violet color energy from the Supreme Being. So let's start. Take a deep breath in and out. Visualize violet color rays of bliss have filled your entire body. Rays of bliss, and experience that you are a blissful soul. A soul away from all the tensions, worries, and fears. An energy full of bliss. Keep doing. A few more times. Say to yourself, I am an enlightened soul and I am a blissful soul. The knowledge that I am this beautiful energy driving the body makes me feel so light and experience the state of bliss. So, welcome back. I'm sure you're feeling very, very relaxed, very peaceful, very light, as if you're just flying in the air. This is because both these chakras, the Agya chakra and the crown chakra, have been opened almost fully, and you're feeling light. As you mentioned, O and M in that meditation, basically both these sounds, they resonate inside the air spaces we have something called air spaces in the skull. They resonate over there, and once because that's your original sound. Om is the original sound of nature, and once it starts resonating over there, you really start feeling very peaceful, very blissful, and your third eye also awakens. So with this, I would like to end. Thank you so much, all of y'all, for your cooperative listening, and I'm sure you've experienced total bliss. So I go on to Sister Anu if there are any questions.
Okay. Om Shanti. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much, Manoj brother. I think we wanted to get everything today. Voice noise was not coming, but it was clear we all did it. That with the O, the knowledge opened the brow plates, and with the Ma, we took that inside. So I hope everybody tried that and experiencing that calm already. And then as we continue with the other um, uh, like the colors, then we can get the whole um, relaxation of the body, and that's very nice. Thank you, Dr. Manoj, how he connected that the body's health is connected with all these energy layers in the body, and if the energy layers we can experience this way with everything has a different color and different sound, that we can connect it with the body. I will read the chat box that there are good experiences. People are writing that they had good experiences. Mostly, somebody asked when is the second session, where maybe we can just do the whole relaxation session. And we will share the. So somebody's asking, yeah, first Om is opening mouth and the second Om is closed mouth. So I
Yeah,
think
I
you
think
have to clarify that.
yeah, sorry to interrupt. Even I read that question. So it's a beautiful way. Let me just go to the chat box. It's a beautiful question, Tim, you have asked. I never thought of that thing actually, but it's beautiful. So when you say Om, you subtly open your mouth. You don't really need to open in a very big way. So the first O is in one way opening the mouth. That's correct. And the second is closed mouth, because when your tongue has to touch the palate, you don't have to do mouth breathing. It has to, the mouth has to be like the lips have to be approximate and the mouth has to be closed. So you're very right in whatever you said. So it's beautiful. Someone is asking, how long does it take to balance all the chakras? I think it's nothing much about the time. If you can experience this bliss, and if you enlighten, if you awaken yourself, you open the third eye, you can immediately balance everything. But mind well, as I have started speaking now, I am back into action in the external world. Again, the chakra has started becoming closed. Therefore, it's like an ongoing process. You have to keep doing it very often. I think what we can do is next time, whenever we get the next session, depending on the availability of the center, we would discuss in details about all these things, and we'll discuss about something called, which Anu sister likes a lot, is about the mudras. There is something called mudras. I didn't cover that because it was really no time for that. All the five elements which we have related from the throat down, they are all linked to the five fingers, because the five elements in the body are linked to the five fingers, and how each of them, I'll just in a very nice correlating way try to explain you in the next session. And then we could do a few mudras. What is called mudra is basically again a Sanskrit word. Mudra means approximating different fingers to each other and trying to energize yourself. Like the ancient science of acupuncture, acupressure. They try to really press various points, because all these points are related to various organ systems. So similarly, all these five fingers are related to the five elements. And when you sort of approximate to each other, the energy starts flowing in that particular chakra. So just to summarize, you don't have to go in so much of details of the other chakras. More important are these two. If you're able to open these two chakras on a regular basis, your mind and your intellect both are really refreshed all the time, and then really things become easier. The physical disease really goes off when you are at mental ease. That's what I would say.
So thank you very much. Everyone says mostly the comments are that they felt good. It was insightful. We could see how it's connected, and just the simple the exercise of Om. We can do O and
And yeah, just one last question, because I don't want the person to feel ignored. Yeah, Tim, so he's asking about 15 minutes is okay. Yes, so it's perfect. I mean, minimum we say you at least do for 5 to 10 minutes. So if you can do it for 15 minutes, you'll be really flying. It will be like a very the state of mind is like an angel. You're flying and you're feeling so light. So 15 minutes is perfect. And I would recommend this for people who have sleep disorders, who have constant recurrent headaches, and who are not able to either they sleep a lot, which is somnolence, or you have insomnia, whereby you're not able to sleep. So before going to bed in the night, if you can do this 15 minutes, and once you wake up in the morning, also we say good morning to the supreme energy, and do this for 5 to 10 minutes, followed by your other what we call Amrit Vela meditation. So before going to bed and after rising in the morning, if you can do this at that time, it will really energize you, because the O and the M is the universal sound. It opens up your air spaces inside, as I told before, and it really makes you feel very, very light. And just to give you one piece of information, which I'm remembering offhand, Brahma Kumaris, before the name was Brahma Kumaris, it was called Om Mandali, way back in 1936 in the United Undivided India in Sindh, Hyderabad. And there, Brahma Baba, who is the founder of the organization, he used to, before starting the normal meditation, he used to ask all the seekers over there, all the disciples, what we can say, or the seekers or the Brahmins, to recite or chant Om. It was basically more of the Om word together, which I have just sort of make it into two parts, O and Ma. But even if you do it together, doesn't really matter. So he used to do it, and all of them used to really experience the flying stage. All the sisters and brothers at that time, all of them are what we call seniors in our institute now, and they experience that Om sound really helps a lot before doing the other meditation. I think we'll be having a meditation soon. Anu sister
yeah.
will tell you later when. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll just take up few comments. Harpreet Dhaliwal, student sister, says that being science student, it's understood. When you connect, it stays more with us. And she's also asking, how do you curl up your tongue? Is it
It's
possible
very
to
easy.
show it
You
here?
don't have to do anything. It is just you curl your tongue. I'm doing it right away as well. Curl
You
your
can't.
tongue and touch it. Touch on the palate. You just have to touch your palate. Forget the word curl. Curl makes it very difficult sometimes. So just touch your palate. So all of us sit relaxed. Your spine straight. Take a few deep breaths in and out. and experience the body relaxing. Relax the body. Relax. As you relax your body, your mind also starts feeling more and more relaxed. Your mind is so peaceful now. You're feeling very light, very stable, calm, and composed. You can see that your mind may still wander here and there, but that's okay. Gently tell your mind, my dear mind, let me not think of the future or the past. Let me enjoy this very moment, the present moment, and you'll see that your mind is very obedient. It obeys your commands. It's like a small child. Your own child. You just have to train it and give it a proper direction. So now that your mind is back in place, create this beautiful another singular thought that I am peace. Nothing but only peace and peace. And feel the vibrations of peace all around, radiating from you to the surroundings. What a beautiful feeling. I am peace. And to enhance this experience of being peaceful, I visualize the Supreme Being, the Supreme Energy above the forehead or the top of the head, and visualize beautiful rays of peace from the ocean of peace coming to me and filling my entire body with peace and peace and only peace. I am this beautiful entity of peace, and I'm feeling so light and happy and comfortable. Just one thought, I am peace, has completely changed my entire thoughts and feelings. I'm feeling so good, so light, and being connected with the Supreme. I'm really feeling peaceful and blissful all around. Enjoy this beautiful heavenly experience of being connected with the Supreme. Now you see external noises from outside don't seem to disturb me at all. So, thank you all of y'all. We should not be forgetting that all this is possible because we're able to connect to the Supreme Being. Sometimes it happens, we get influenced, we start liking each other's discourses so much that the Supreme Being, here he is, just gets ignored. So all of us basically are connected to that Supreme. The Supreme energy is basically the one which is connecting all the soul energies to each other and also to him. So the moment we start connecting to him more and more, life becomes really easy. So thank you so much again.
If you could see what I see, you'd lose your breath for sure. You are the perfect replications and the ones that I adore. Carved you from a diamond and polished you with love. Then I sent you out beyond the veil so you might choose the love. Oh, my sweet creations, your beauty makes me weep. Oh, my sweet creations, the whole world's at your feet. And one day soon you'll see it. If you could see what I see, you'd never lose your smile. For you walk in thy own footsteps when you walk that second mile. These are more than words, my love. This is poetry divine. My signature is everywhere, for all of life is mine. One day you'll see what I see, and you'll come to realize that every tear you ever cried, I wiped from my own eyes. I know your every feeling, and I felt your every joy, but you perfect replications. You're the ones that I adore.